The super team ideal of Angel Reese is more like. According to Angel Reese, she was a complete failure, going to construct a Chicago powerhouse. She assured everyone that it revealed who she was. Hiring the biggest celebrities had a large game as if she were the monarch of the WNBA. So let's fast forward to the present and guess what? No one wants me to repeat it. Her best free agents took her to play with them. Looking at Chicago, I answered, yeah, I'm good. Kelsey Plum is gone, but not Joel Lloyd. Brittany Griner doesn't have a chance in every big. The league star had choices and, rather of becoming a member of Reese's alleged, they ran for teams that were super squads. Truly understand how to win, so what happened? Angel Reese is simply not as big of a bargain as she believes she is, but did she frighten away free agents with her entire presence? I had energy, and more significantly, I did. The Indiana Fever's Caitlin Clark barely steal the attention that Angel believed was hers. Let's dissect everything, because the free agency catastrophe is among the some of the biggest flops in WNBA history. Popcorn, because this one is vicious. Prior to diving into the action, please take a time to like this video. By subscribing to the channel, you will always keep abreast on the most recent WNBA huge maneuvers and game breakdowns in the headlines just like this. Don't delay. We've got you covered. So feel free to press the like button. Let's jump right in after you subscribe.
WNBA free agency is officially underway, Annie. So when you see these names and the options, what do you think that they're cooking up?
Yeah, it's interesting, right? Because Angel and Camilla are very interesting pieces.
Go back a little. Angel re-exuded confidence as she had the whole league on speed dial with assurance, indicating titles and a star-studded teams that she prided herself in becoming the unchallenged leader in women's basketball and almost already had victory parades booked, as though she had already purchased personalized championship rings with her face against them.
You don't get told no. You're going to get the yeses. You're going to get more yeses than nos, and just being able to know that. So I'm excited for that. I know that's going to come soon.
Angel saw herself drinking champagne during extravagant events, thinking that all of the best players would quit everything to be with her in Chicago. To be honest, Dream Team's confidence was amazing, almost comical. You could almost see Netflix. She has a documentary playing in her head, demonstrating her spectacular ascent to WNBA glory. But let's take a moment to return to reality. Instant spoiler alert for her hiring. Not only did the approach fail, it crashed and burnt more intensely than a low-rated. A Netflix series was canceled after one and disappointing season.
Angel Reese and Camilla Cardoso, too, have brought relevance to this team that they've desperately needed in a time when, again, if not for them, they'd be completely irrelevant.
Not only did Reese miscalculate her pull width, she greatly overestimated the players' charm, influence, and let's be honest, her capacity to establish a setting that anyone genuinely desired to participate. Of the sole legendary quality of her plan was how wildly unsuccessful it was.
The whole city is obsessed with you.
I know. I love it
all
here.
the time.
I feel like Baltimore here. I love it here.
The entire city is completely enamored with you. I adore this place. It feels like I adore Baltimore. This image shows Angel Reese at home, chatting on her phone while relaxing on her couch. Feeling like the most famous person on the planet, she's already beaming from ear to ear, envisioning magnificent triumphal parades, celebrations, and champagne showers in. She's most likely in downtown Chicago, practicing speeches and imagining anything. She will tag people in her Instagram photos. Currently, her superstar teammates envision her sending those texts with assurance. To all of the WNBA's well-known names, I'll definitely respond with a hearty yes and Angel, but reality sets in. Hours faster than a speeding bullet. Days go by, and all that's left is quiet.
Oh, lads, this is not great news, for the Chicago Sky, who are a team that obviously, they're rebuilding. This is a team that is 100% rebuilding.
When her phone rings, she eagerly reaches for it, only to discover it's merely a low battery or another scam email. Alert! Angel wasn't simply abandoned. She was left hanging more than someone else, attempting to give someone a high five that never. When it happens, it's like having a huge party, inviting everyone you know and then standing in a vacant space with the most depressing playlist ever, playing quietly in. The backdrop violence is just the beginning. Angel Reese had to hide it by unprecedented degree of rejection, and to be honest, it's sort of tragically funny.
Oh, not a good day for the Chicago Sky. Not a good day at all, because we have heard news from the journalist who reports on the WNBA.
Angel's wish list was topped by Kelsey Plum, a champion and game-changing sniper. Appeared to be a surefire signing, such as the excellent teammate who had it last. Verify whatever Angel says in his big talk. Was most likely already visualizing a match. Attire giving high fives following wins, and giggling in slow motion for television. Advertisements together, but Plum didn't. Simply turned down Angel's offer outright. Dismissed it with a giggle and leaped directly to picture Angel's face in sunny Los Angeles. It must have been when she received that news that the psychological counterpart of stepping on coffee running out in the socks, morning and discovering that you have forgotten your pure anguish on a home phone all at once. To be honest, Angel most likely felt deceived, believing that she shared a superstar bond with Plum, but Kelsey recognized straight away, via Angel's smoke and mirrors. It wasn't merely a fantasy super team. Rejection was a harsh reality check. Angel's head is most likely still. Perhaps Plum didn't want to spin. Handle the Angel's queen of all things. Drama, or perhaps she simply wanted to be yes. To locker rooms full of drama. In any case, Angel's grand scheme fell apart more quickly. Compared to affordable furniture from Joel Lloyd in Chicago. Raised and born, they appear to be headed for a sweet homecoming tale of the kind that you could be the subject of sports films. Imagine Angel Reese organizing and considering a passionate, welcoming speech. Lloyd's role as her right-hand lady in the grand revival of Chicago.
Seattle Storm are sending Joel Lloyd to the Las Vegas Aces in a blockbuster three-team trade that moves Kelsey Plum to the LA Sparks. That's according to ESPN.
Perhaps she even had a vision of them becoming the dynamic pair of the WNBA, smiling on magazine covers side by side, like best friends celebrating championships for life. But, well, reality had different plans. Plans in the face of Angel's constant. Chicago's roster is full of self-promotional inquiries in a front desk that obviously didn't know what it was doing. Joel Lloyd gathered her belongings and ran, heading more quickly than anyone toward Las Vegas, ignoring a 2-minute YouTube advertisement.
According to WNBA Insider, that Illinois native Joel Lloyd will not be going to Chicago Sky.
This wasn't merely a no thanks, but rather a difficult. Lloyd didn't simply say no. Instead, she said, I would prefer to play somewhere else instead of in. The decision wasn't solely about that catastrophe. In basketball, stability was key. Leadership and, let's face it, staying away from needless drama, and who is to blame? Her Vegas has a winning system that has been proved. Culture as well as real star power. Yet, well, Angel Reese is sending to Chicago, not responding to texts and wishing for the best. Suddenly, another superstar appeared out of nowhere, disappeared from Reese's ideal super team. Yet there are enough, so don't worry, Angel. Oh wait, there are still more free agents to pursue. They're all staying away from Chicago. Having said that, let's discuss the Brittany Griner's next major rejection even. The dunking queen herself, Brittany Griner, answered, No, I'm fine, after glancing at Chicago. Rather, she gathered her belongings and left, abandoning Angel Reese and heading straight for Atlanta, wondering what went wrong once more.
Let's talk about the 3 big names you gotta know: Alyssa Thomas, Natasha Cloud, Brittany Griner. Let's start with Brittany Griner, joining Alicia Gray and Ryan Howard in Atlanta.
Imagine believing that you're going to put together a WNBA dream team only to discovered that even among the most powerful, the league's players would prefer to play. In other places, that's not simply rejection. It's neon lights flashing as a wake-up call. Let's face it, Brittany Griner. Selecting Atlanta instead of Chicago is similar to a person selecting a mediocre gas station sandwich above a fine dining experience, barring of. Of course, the fine dining experience is merely a stale, unsubstantial piece of bread. And we shouldn't act as though this was a Griner. Chicago's tough choice had a hectic front with all the warning signs. Office a roster that has not been confirmed, and well, Angel. Would you like Reese to run the show? You sign up for that without thinking. At that moment, Angel had thoughts. Not much worse than another well-known name. Entered Alyssa Thomas after coming off the board, who observed the circumstances in Chicago and, without a second's hesitation, they ran for Phoenix. Alyssa glanced triple-double superstar. Thomas didn't even try to be amusing. Chicago as a possibility, she observed the circumstances for what was a chaotic, turbulent, tumultuous mess and acknowledged. Thank you, but Thomas rushed to Phoenix, so, probably leaving a dust trail, she moved quickly behind her, and can you really hold her accountable? Reese, her angel, most likely sent her a message full of superlative promises, dominance and team, but Thomas chose one. Examine the Sky's non-existent roster, misunderstanding in the front office, and the never-ending Angel concentrated drama and had previously nodded out. Considering it again, let's be. The actual Alyssa Thomas is a dedicated athlete. With hopes of winning a title, she's not here for dysfunction at the reality TV level. And she genuinely backs up, unlike Angel. Her results-driven game extends beyond Twitter. Converse. But if you felt that was inappropriate, this is when Angel's genuine gut punch arrives. Brianna Turner, a teammate of mine, also packed. Yes, she packed her stuff and headed to Indiana. The squad that Angel replays for is Indiana. Been attempting to persuade herself that she's more significant than that treachery had to. Feel like someone threw a pail of icy water directly on Reese's pride. Not only despite Turner's departure, she went to play with Caitlin Clark, the player who stole. Considering how radiant Angels are, picture losing your own teammate of the world's biggest star. Game, similar to your best friend selecting your rival's birthday celebration instead of yours. Harsh and similar to that other piece of Angel's alleged super team fantasy. Fell to dust, so don't worry, Angel. There is still time to hire some significant names, yes, but hold on, that list is growing. The second speaking of which is shorter. Let's discuss the Indiana Fever and how precisely they are doing. The Chicago Sky buildings opposite and real powerhouse W. You've succeeded. That must indicate that you're truly. I think you're enjoying the video, so why not take just a moment to press the follow button. It's very easy, completely free and beneficial. Us continue to bring you more amazing material, particularly if you're fond of the WNBA players, whether they are game highlights or moments behind the scenes. We got you covered in addition to. You won't miss a beat when you follow. Regarding your preferred teams and players who follow now all go on tap. Okay, let's return while Angels. Chicago's hopes were crumbling. The Indiana Fever discreetly put together an real powerhouse with Natasha in it. Both Kelsey Mitchell and Howard Dana Boner. However, Caitlin Clark is their true star. Has fueled the Fever on their own fan base that fills arenas and creates news. Angel, you've lost your crown, Clark. Simply grabbed it before you did. Able to speak, airball.
The Indiana Fever are that golden destination, and I can't help but laugh to the fans and the people online and the media commentators, unfortunately, who said that nobody wanted to play in Indiana.
Adding insults to harm the front office in Chicago made things worse by letting go of. Imagine Kennedy Carter, the top scorer, removing your best player because it's essentially telling the league that you don't prioritize victory. Why is Chicago's top talent escaping? Similar to rats abandoning a sinking ship,